Hello, I'm Chris Reed and you're watching the first ever Wildcards brought to you by Twin Panda Productions. We are preparing for the up-and-coming Wildcards Festival. That wonderful introduction featured music from the very talented Coasts, and today we'll be interviewing some of the other artists that are appearing at the festival, including Step 39, the breathtaking graffiti artist. We'll also be heading to Gonzo's to have a chat with Dec from History and Law, as well as a performance from the amazing Emily Parish in Frank's Bar. All of that and more on tonight's Wildcards. First of all, let's introduce our guests. On my right, we have the green team made up of Millie Manders and Gabby Rivers.
Hi.
Millie Manders and Gabby Rivers. There you go. 3 people excited that you're here. That's nice, isn't it? How are you? Thank you for being here. I'm excited as 4 as well.
I appreciate that, and thank you for having us.
Are you 2 excited that they're here?
100. Well, are you 100? 70%.
Let's move on. Millie, how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm good, thanks. I've been touring quite a lot, less than last year because we're currently finishing off demos for our new album. It's our debut album and we're going in the studio very soon.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when will that be out?
It'll be in the first third of 2020.
Lovely, look forward to that. Gabby, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you?
Thank you, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
Yeah, so I've just recently won a competition in March called Berry Sound, and I have been very busy with that. I got free recording studio days, and yeah, I got the funding for that, and I'm releasing my debut single Game next Friday. So
next Friday,
yeah.
and that will be available on Spotify.
Yeah, all music platforms.
All the usual places.
Yeah.
Lovely,
Yeah.
thanks very much. That's our green team. And facing them tonight is the yellow team, made up of brothers Jesse and Louis Baker. Jesse and Louis Baker. You're pretty much the same, yeah. Just as popular, that's good. How are you both?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. No one ever asked me that, thanks, I appreciate that. What's been going on in your world?
We're in the process of releasing a brand new single called Lazy. It's out this Friday. Yeah, it's a track called Lazy. We've basically just been in the studio working with this dude, Rick James, in London. Yeah, like really sort of hammed up the production on this one as much as possible. So it's just been a case of getting all the stuff together.
Yeah, lovely stuff. And that's out on Friday, again,
this
on
Friday,
Spotify,
yeah,
all the usual
Friday
places.
the 18th.
Friday the 18th.
That's it, go check it out.
Okay, there we go. Okay, these are our teams. We're going to get to know them a little bit more throughout the quiz. And I think we should start at round 1. That seems like a sensible place to go. The first game tonight is called 2 Truths and 1 Lie. This is a game where each of our guests will say, each of our teams, in fact, will give 3 statements, and the other team will try to work out which is the lie. And if they do so correctly, they will win a point. The points will be tallied up at the end of the quiz, and the very special prize, which will be revealed later, will be awarded to the winning team. We're going to start with the green team. Could we have your 3 statements, please?
Okay.
Cool.
Whichever one of you would like to go for it.
So
Are you ready, boys?
I passed my first instrument on grade 5 when I was 11 on clarinet. I own 2 cats called Titch and Mabel, and I have got 3 certificates on my wall for ballet dancing.
Okay, those are our 3 statements, but which, lads, is the lie?
I've got a sneaky suspicion she's not a ballet dancer.
Oh.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, but it's the sort of thing that, like, remember, like, our mate Sean, Taekwondo, he would never have thought it. He brought in the belt.
I love the fact that you guys said that at exactly the same time.
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
That was awesome.
Oh,
It's a well-known
Taekwondo
fact.
Sean, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, you know, that's it.
Big up Sean.
So,
Give
to
him a
push you
shout.
for an answer, you're going for the ballet?
Well, I'm verging on ballet.
I'm saying, nah, cats. They're not your cats.
Cats.
No, she strikes me as
We're
a
going
cat
with cats.
girl.
The cats has been given. Is that the lie?
It is in fact the lie, but only because they're dead.
Oh, no, take that
There we
one
go.
back.
Right, all right.
Mixed feelings about that revelation.
So I don't really
but
own them anymore.
more importantly, the yellow's
Well,
got a point.
It worked.
That is
Okay, we
bad
are
for
going
me.
to move on now, boys.
They were
It's your
old.
turn.
Okay.
Millie and Gabby, listen to these 3 statements and try and work out which one is the lie.
Okay,
going for?
then we are going for. So, we once convinced a guy in Northamptonshire that we were Russian doll twins, which is a concept.
A rare form of Russian doll twins.
Which means
You're
essentially
going to have to
I was
explain
born
what
Russian dolls.
Go on.
doll
Go on.
twin is.
Go on.
Jessie was born out of the womb,
Yes.
My mother's.
and then I was born out of Jesse's womb.
Yep.
Okay.
So that we
Okay,
convinced
so
someone
that's
that was
that's
true
the
thing.
concept of
Okay, let's move on to... That was the first statement,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to the second.
The second one is my dad always had in mind for Louis, as soon as he was born, that he would call him Johnny Silver, or that would be a name, because he just had such a good feeling about his star potential.
That was
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
and number 3?
Number 3 is I once broke Louis' Mac screen with a drumstick during a rehearsal.
Okay, I know which one I believe. What about you two? Which one do you think is the lie?
To be honest, the drumstick thing I can totally believe.
Yeah,
because,
that's definitely
that's
true.
something that I would actually do by mistake. The Russian doll thing, I think possibly you tried to convince somebody, but it's
Yeah,
unlikely
I
that
don't
you managed
believe
to
that
convince
that's true.
somebody that you came out of his man womb.
So we're going
Yeah.
with the Russian doll man womb as the
You
lie.
talked about it for too long.
Yeah,
It was a bit
it's-
suspicious.
yeah, well, yeah.
Was the Russian doll man womb the lie?
That was true.
No, you managed to get someone to believe you birthed somebody.
So no
That's
points.
incredible.
He was just like, man, that's crazy. That's cool.
Okay,
On
okay.
his face.
All right, we have to move. We have to move on. I'm afraid. So we finished that round, that exciting round, with the yellows on 1 point, but the greens on 0. Don't worry, greens. There's
deserve
plenty
an
of
applause for
points
that.
left.
Thank you.
Okay, before we move on to round 2, let's take a look at the Wild Paths Festival trailer so you can see what's coming up this weekend. There we go. That was the trailer for the Wild Paths Festival coming up this weekend. Okay, we're now going to move on to the next round, which is called Guess the Fest. In this game, our two teams will be shown a picture of a festival. In order to get a point for their team, they must correctly identify it. Otherwise, we'll pass it over and the other team can steal a point. Greens, you are going to go first. And here's your first picture. Can you guess the fest?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Simple as that.
This is definitely
Reading.
Reading.
Talk us through your thinking. Why do you think that?
The size of the stage, the production,
The red.
yeah.
Yeah.
red, and also the barriers.
Distinctive
throughout.
barriers?
Very distinctive barriers and peoples. Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. A point to the Greens. It is Reading.
Well done.
All right, yellow team, have a look at this. Can you guess the fest?
I think I can.
Yeah, I believe we can.
Yeah, one of these, download.
Yeah.
Think it's download. What's taking you
Feeling
towards
that.
download?
It just looks very messy.
Yeah, and you can clearly see Rick Astley is performing his iconic headline
Yeah.
set.
A
I've actually
It
download
watched
was the biggest
stalwart.
giveaway.
I've watched this quite a few times on YouTube,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
What the
so
belting
this is,
Rick Astley's download
Yeah,
set. Yeah.
it's really good.
Well,
Exactly.
well, whatever your method, you are correct. It is indeed download.
Thank you.
Okay, have a look, green team, at this next one. Can you guess the festival?
Instantly.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Boomtown.
Yeah.
Boomtown's a completely immersive festival. So they build a city, and everybody's a character within that city.
Oh wow.
Funny story, with my band, we get really drunk and stay at Boomtown. We've performed the last 6 years in a row, and we play a game called Buckadum because my saxophonist gets blind drunk, falls asleep, and is basically narcoleptic. And we play a game that's basically like Buckaroo, but it's Buckadum, and anything you can find goes on him. We managed to get a knife between his butt cheeks and things balancing off his ankle, and it was great. We have
Wow.
photos. They're on the internet.
Really?
Wow, amazing times.
Wow.
Maybe we'll put a link to those photos in the notes. I'm not sure if we will.
I want to see that knife, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, yellow team, here is the final picture for this round. Can you guess the fest?
Right, so what I'm seeing is some clouds on a blue sort of background.
It
That
looks
suggests
like
it's
it
like the
looks
sky.
like a Christian festival. That's what
I
I'm
think it
seeing.
is. We're seeing clouds, we're seeing blue skies, sort of.
Blind clouds.
So I'm
festival.
going to go for...
I hope there are Christian
What is,
festivals where everyone
what
walks
is your
around
favourite
going,
Christian
"Ah."
festival, actually?
It's got to be
Crossfest?
Gonna have to push
Crossfest.
you. Crossfest, no, in fact, it was Latitude. Unlucky. you two. Unlucky, we finished that game with the scores tied with both yellows and greens on 2 points. That was a great round for both teams. And speaking of rounds, we decided to buy a musician a drink and sit him down for a chat at Gonzo's. Let's see what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Declan. I'm from a band called History and Law. I play guitar and we're here at Gonzo's. I would say that we are an indie rock band, ambient areas, some sort of emo areas, but when you've been together for 5 years, your sound does tend to change a little bit. For us, one of our big influences were bands like Bon Iver, Tiger's Jaw, Manchester Orchestra. A lot more of an American sound. When we started, we were very much a folk band, and then as we progressed, we'd get heavier, we'd gain members. Yeah, the sound would change quite a lot, but we just love playing together. We also like raising awareness about mental health as well as a band. The thing that inspires us is just playing together and working together. Norwich is a very, very diverse music scene. You could start a R&B neo-soul group and it would be accepted. You could start a punk band and it would be accepted. It's a very welcoming community and there's a lot of great venues in this city which Wild Paths is really showcasing, especially that some of the venues aren't even venues. So it goes to show what potential Norwich does have and we just love being part of it. I initially got involved in Wild Paths when I met Ben Street. I was helping him sort of set up Pizza Club, which is the main sort of driving force behind Wild Paths. Initially it was just on the sole reason of I wanted to get more gigs for my band and ended up accidentally helping organise the festival. A lot of the bands were bands that we had played with, so it was really nice for myself to be able to get those bands involved. Regardless of anything, this is a festival that I would have wanted the band playing anyway, so it's really nice to be involved as part of the team organising. My personal favourite is Father Son that we're playing with on Sunday. I've long been a fan of the band, and when Ben told me that we were getting them booked for the festival, I kind of did squeal a little bit, I'm not ashamed to say. There's so much to check out across the weekend at Wild Paths. I'd definitely say, of course, come check out Voodoo Daddies on the Sunday, where we'll be playing. Karma Cafe on the Saturday has got an amazing lineup with bands such as Superglue and Gaffer Tape Sandy. There's something for everyone. If you like R&B, you've got Epic Studios, you've got more folky or stripped back stuff, you've got the Birdcage. So there is definitely something for everyone, and just come down, check it out, and see what takes your fancy.
Woo! Lovely stuff. That was Dec from History and Law enjoying a pint of beer specially brewed for the festival. And you can catch Dec playing on Sunday. All artists featuring the show will also be performing at the Wild Paths Festival, so make sure you grab your tickets at the Wild Paths website, which is wildpaths.co.uk/tickets. Okay, moving on. It's time for round 3 and we're going to play a game of Finish the Lyric. This is a game where each team will compete against each other to see if they can, finish the lyric. It's obvious. All right. We are going to start with Louis and Jessie. Here is your first lyric. Can you finish it? Feel free to burst into song if you want to. All right. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us.
I feel stupid and contagious.
For a point to the yellows, yes. Okay.
I'm really sorry. I'm apologising right now.
Millie is apologising in advance for her performance in this game, but we'll see how this goes. All right, your first one is, I almost just read out the answer there. All right.
Brilliant.
You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing.
We will rock you.
Yeah, for a point to the Greens. All right, Louis and Jessie. Till we found a sea of green and we lived beneath the waves in our yellow submarine.
Yellow submarine?
We all live in a yellow submarine. Yeah, give him a point. That's it. Oh,
yeah, sing it like Ringo does.
I haven't quite got the delivery. All right. We only say goodbye with words. I died 100 times.
You go back to her and I go back to black.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Point to the Greens. These guys are on it. I think it's 100% so far. All right, let's see if you can keep the 100% record going, you two.
All right.
We get it almost every night. When the moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural delight.
I do know it.
I don't blame you for not. We all do that.
That's what we've gone with, I think.
It's not I kiss my dad. I can pass it over, ladies. We get it almost every night. When the moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural Delight.
I think I even know the song. But
Everybody's dancing in the
moonlight.
moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight
yeah, of course,
by Top Loader.
That's my favourite band.
Okay. And we have another one for the green team. And so Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. I said that in a very strange intonation.
And so
walking on by, so sad to wait. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say.
Yeah, for a point. Beautifully delivered. And can we just award a bonus point for the only person who sung it? Beautifully.
I genuinely wouldn't have been able to get it otherwise.
Okay.
That is literally the only reason.
What a round that was. And that has left the scores at 4 to the yellows, 5 to the greens.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Stitch up.
We only have
Don't know what you're talking about.
we only have one round to go, and it's on a knife edge. It's going to be an exciting finale, and to see who will win the special prize that will be revealed at the end of the show. But before the finale, we went to see Step 39, who is famous for his eye-catching graffiti. We sent out our best team to meet him and ask a few questions as to what this particular lifestyle entails. This is what he had to say.
I'm Tony Allen. I'm a graffiti artist from Norwich in the UK. My graffiti artist inspirations, lots of people from back in the day in New York, the old school writers, all those sorts of people, right back to sort of Tacky 183, who's one of the pioneers of graffiti, one of the first people who was out tagging. My medium stretch is quite large, so from a graffiti point of view, there's just those old school pioneers. Locally, I sort of really like people like Dave Nasher, who's been producing some amazing portrait work. Loki, he's developed his style over the years. I've known him since he was really young, and I love his work. He's going to be painting with us over the weekend. So it tends to be my peers rather than anybody that's particularly well known. People that I paint with push me to change what I do and develop myself as well. I think Wildpath initially were just looking for something, perhaps one person to come along and create something for them for the festival. I've organised graffiti jams in the past where I get together artists from all over Europe. When I sort of suggested to them, rather than just having myself, that we get some other people in, we've got a couple of guys from sort of down south London, Cambridge way, a couple of local guys, to get together and produce something a bit bigger for Wildpath. I think that interested them a little bit more to be actually become part of Wildpaths. What can people expect from us at Wildpaths? 8 artists, all with very, very different styles. Some from that traditional New York base that I was talking about, based on letters. Like Carleen, who's from London, she does portrait work, but in her own very definitive style. Kilo, he's from Cambridgeshire way. He's a very traditional, old school New York style graffiti writer. As myself, I don't know what I'm going to be producing yet. I tend to sort of fly by wire a little bit when it comes to things. I tend to go with a few ideas and then see what happens on the day. People can expect to see 7 pieces of work created over either just the Saturday or the Saturday and the Sunday. Large scale, very bright, very colourful, hopefully very engaging. Where will you be able to see the artwork being produced at Wildpath Festival? There's 2 different sites at the moment. One with Henry Boone, who's a local Norwich-based artist, but he paints all over the UK. He's at the Bowling House, which is at the end of Dereham Road, and then the rest of us are all down at the old Shoe Factory site behind the Shoe Factory, which is one of the venues. The piece I created today was just simply an eye. I think that eyes are windows to the soul. You know, eyes are the first thing you look at. Honesty or distrust, love and respect, all through someone's eyes.
That was Step 39, one of the most spectacular graffiti artists from Norwich, once again displaying his undeniable talent. He will also be presenting a live piece of art in the abandoned Shoe Factory for the Wild Paths Festival. So once again, make sure you go and grab your tickets on the website, wildpaths.co.uk/tickets. Now we move on to the exciting climax of the show. It's the final round, and we're going to have a game of true or false. Consists of me reading out some questions and our teams deciding whether they are true or false. You score a point if you get the right answer. Didn't need to say that, that bit's obvious. All right, let's move on. And green team, you are up first. Are you ready with your true or false paddles?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, the first question is it true or false that Stormzy came up with the idea for his first album, Gang Signs and Prayer, in Gonzo's in Norwich?
I'm going false.
Millie's face seems to say false. That was, in fact, false. You get a point to the greens. Okay, true or false, yellow team. Norwich hosts the longest wall of medieval defences in England. Does Norwich have the longest medieval defence in England?
Great Wall of China.
In England. Great Wall of Thetford.
3, 2, 1.
It is in fact true.
Ooh,
Point to the yellows.
Didn't know that, but big up the
boys,
Norwich
no,
Massive.
please.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's go.
Green team. Is it true or false that Nirvana played the Norwich Arts Centre?
Oh, I'm
True.
true, yeah.
Boom. True.
She
For a
put
point.
false.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. True or false? The music genre vaporware originated on the streets of Norwich. Are you familiar with vaporware?
3, 2, 1.
It is indeed false for
See
a
ya.
point. I love the way you're counting yourselves in as well. Okay, we've got time for a quick couple more. Has AJ Tracy ever performed at the Waterfront in Norwich? That's not a true or false, is it? AJ Tracy has performed at the Waterfront in Norwich. True or false?
Who's AJ Tracy?
I'll just say true.
We're going to go true.
It is true. Have a
Great,
point.
Fantastic.
Oh no, we've run out of time again before you guys could get to have a go. Oh, isn't that unfortunate? Well, after that nail-biting final round,
What have you paid him?
we have the final scores to reveal. And it's very, very exciting, although I think there might be a little bit of dissent over there, over here. But the winner is, let's hear it, it's 6 points for the yellow, and it's 8 points for the greens. Let's hear it for the greens!
Man.
Are you two not clapping along?
No.
I'm pleased to reveal our very exciting trophy that has taken weeks
They get a
to be
trophy.
made.
That's right, man.
And there it
Don't
is.
need it.
That is so
Congratulations, you two. I'd like to present
this
you.
is
I'm
incredible.
taking this hat.
You are
We,
champions.
we are incredibly proud of this moment.
You are
Thank you.
champions of the first ever wildcards. I'm sure it feels good. As a reward, would you like to share with our audience when they can see you at Wild Paths this weekend?
Yeah, I am performing at the opening party at Voodoo Daddy's showroom this Thursday night with Bag of Cans and with Front Bangs.
And Gabby?
Yeah, I'm on the Saturday at the library at 1 o'clock.
There we go. Okay, you two, even though you're technically losers, we'll let you plug your gig as well. Tell everybody where they can see
Thank
you.
you very much. We're going to be playing on Saturday at the Last Pub Standing, 8:15. Loads of really good local acts come in, as well as like False Heads who are headlining us.
Awesome.
Big up.
Well, thanks to everyone who's been watching at home. The show has been produced and finalised by the team at Twin Panda Productions. Be sure to come and check out the Wild Paths Festival. It's going to be a truly unique festival for Norwich, with over 200 acts playing at 20 venues across the city from the 18th to the 20th of October. We're now going to finish with a performance from the brilliant Emily Parish.
Kiss me as if it's now and never. Hold me when you're under the weather. Pillow talk, never sweeter. I